What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today we have BTC selling off a little bit after rallying to $69,500 just the other day, while the stock market continues to move higher and somewhat sideways uh, consolidation right now. Uh, we have a couple things we need to keep eye on this week, which is earnings. Really, the next 2 weeks will be important for the stock market to see what the earnings are for these tech stocks that are coming out. Plus, we are going to discuss what that means for the stock market, commodities, and Bitcoin and crypto. So if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And let's get into it. All right, guys. So probably the biggest thing we have this week is the earnings. We have Tesla tomorrow after the close, and that's supposed to be about a 6% move. And we've been eyeing this setup here on Tesla for some time, just continuing to move sideways. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now 7 days of just sideways action, indecision on Tesla. So are we going to go higher or are we going to break down from this level? Well, whenever this does break, it will move quick. But if we do move up, I do suspect we may go get that gap fill around 238. And if we do break to the downside, well, then 210 down to around 200 could be a possibility here for Tesla, although I tend to believe that Tesla will probably move up here in the next couple of days. What about the other stocks? Well, NVIDIA ripping to new all-time highs yesterday and moving even a little bit higher this morning, sitting at 143. So what's in store for NVIDIA rather? I do think that these markets may be just a bit overextended, but they can continue to run. So that's something to keep in mind here. Nevertheless, I do suspect that we may come back down to some of these other levels lower down on NVIDIA. There is the possibility still that we may go back down to retest this area here one more time before moving higher. I really thought whenever NVIDIA broke out of this downward sloping trend, we would come back to retest this trend line at some point. We have not done that yet. That is a possibility, but the higher this goes, probably the less likely it is that that does happen. Nevertheless, like I said, I would like to see it come back to retest this area right down around this 382 somewhere between the 120 and 130 level on NVIDIA. Uh, Another stock I wanted to bring up, I haven't talked about this stock much on this channel at all in a while since I started making these videos, but I just wanted to point out this chart here on Google. We have this inverse head and shoulders pattern setting up on Google. So that will be interesting to watch. Of course, they do have some cases against them, which has driven this stock price down. Nevertheless, I do think that if NVIDIA continues to hold up some of those higher levels, that you will start to see a lot of these other stocks catch up here in the future. So that will be something to keep an eye on. And also, we have the China stock market, HSI, finding a nice little bounce here in the last couple days off this level of support, sitting right around 20,500 currently. Will this level hold? Well, we'll have to find out. Watch and see what happens here with the price action. We could go a bit lower, but nevertheless, right now we are seeing a little bounce. I would like to see a little bit more of a pullback after this big run here that we had a couple weeks ago. But right now we are just kind of moving sideways here on the China market, and really that may be led by the copper move. As we mentioned, we when we broke out of this downward sloping trend on copper and got this bounce, we thought we would see China move, and it did, and it moved big. Uh, so will copper hold up at these levels? It's looking like that may be a real possibility. We do have a good bit of support in this area that was previously resistance. So copper may be in a little zone here where we could see it start to move higher. So that is a real possibility. I did take a long here on copper, on the copper miners this morning. I think we may see copper start to move upwards as the China government continues to stimulate their economy. Uh, Another commodity we can keep an eye on is oil. Oil is moving higher today at 71.92. And as I mentioned, I thought we may see a bounce here on oil, um, just because of the levels that we were getting down here to around the 69 to $70 area. I did say that I thought we would see a bounce here, and it is starting to move upwards right now. Um, One way of taking a long position on oil is with the ETF Gush, which is a bull ETF leveraged fund, and right now that is sitting at 29.43. We have our downward sloping trend line. We mentioned once we broke this area, we thought this would act as support. Currently, it is doing just that. So that is one way that you could take the oil trade, because if you don't have access to the futures markets, well, then this is one way that you could do that. Another stock I wanted to point out that just came across my radar here in the past couple of days is Elf. This is Elf beauty products, and this stock has done really well for a long time, but as you can see, we have really sold off on Elf, and we're coming back down to that golden pocket, down around to the 618. Just tested that area here a couple weeks ago, and it looks like Elf may be shaping up for a little bounce here. We also have this trend line in play that should act as support, so I do suspect that Elf may start to move higher here in the coming days and weeks. So that is one stock I did want to point out. And if you are interested in trading Forex pairs, commodities, or crypto, you can do so with Prime XBT. That oil trade I mentioned, as you can see right here, we have the MACD starting to cross up, and typically whenever this blue line crosses across the yellow line, that is a golden cross, and you do see these prices move quickly. So if you're interested, there is a link down below. Right now, Prime XBT is offering up to a 20% bonus when you sign up, or 25% off trading fees. Let's get into Bitcoin and crypto, because it is starting to look exciting for Bitcoin as well as the crypto markets. We have the Bitcoin weekly chart here, and this is probably one of the most bullish signs I've seen here in the past several months. Here, just flashing in the last week or two, and that is the Bitcoin price closing above this downward sloping trend line. We are now holding that trend line. We'll see if that acts as support. So this is starting to look very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. We know that uh, Q4 of the year is typically very strong for Bitcoin as well as crypto. If we go back to the daily chart, again, you do see that downward sloping trend line acting as support, tagging that line nearly perfectly. I was really hoping that maybe we could hold up above this $67,500 level. I do think that there is a possibility we may see a little bounce here, but there is also the possibility that we could go lower here in the coming days. I do think that is a real possibility. We may go back down to retest that $65,000 level, or if we do go lower, we may go down to around that $63,500 level. I do think that is a possibility, although I do think Bitcoin and crypto are starting to look very strong here. I don't imagine that we'll stay down at those levels very long. And if we do pull down to those levels, it probably will be in the next week or so. And then I do think we will go back up and retest those all-time highs here very soon. Also wanted to take a look at the total 3 market cap because similar pattern here. We have this bull flag, downward sloping trend line, and this is a pretty common pattern that you will see is once you get that breakout, you tend to come back and test that area. And if that area holds, well, that is generally confirmation that we are moving higher. Excuse me, guys. Um, Another chart I wanted to point out is this chart right here, posted over on X by Cryptos R Us. And this is the number of whales that have been buying uh, Bitcoin. And so this is pretty interesting. You see this chart is going absolutely exponential here, and even an uptick here in just the last few days and weeks in the number of active whales. So that is bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. Uh, and they are accumulating, and that has sent the price of several of these altcoins starting to rally now. As we mentioned, we had this inverse head and shoulders here for Solana, and we said if we did break out of this zone, then we thought Solana was going much higher, probably up around that $190 level. So that could be coming in the coming days and weeks here for Solana. Ethereum, also an inverse head and shoulders pattern here on Ethereum. We did break out, came back down to retest that area. We are just below right now. Nevertheless, if this area does hold, I do suspect that Ethereum will see a bounce here in the coming days and weeks, and I do think it is moving higher, although I don't think it is as strong as Solana during this crypto cycle. So Ethereum's been lagging behind a little bit, but nevertheless, I do think you will see much higher Ethereum prices. We've also seen some of the meme coins really start to rally here in the last couple of weeks. As we mentioned, if we broke out of this downward sloping trend, we thought we would start to see some of these meme coins take off. This is Dog with Hat, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying meme coins as an investment, but as a trade, I think it's a very well, you make your own decision, but I do think it is a good idea because we are starting to see these meme coins pick up again, and they were very strong earlier this year. And really, it is all about the narratives. So, one thing you can do if you're looking to trade is to see which one of these coins or narratives are stronger, and maybe use those to ride these waves up. I do think dog with hat is going much higher, um, but that will depend on Bitcoin and crypto and the markets in general. Um, and if you are looking to get into something like this, I would say uh, practice risk management. I would only use a small portion of your portfolio. Another meme coin is Bonk. Bonk breaking out of our downward sloping trend line, coming back down to retest and seeing a bounce here. I do think Bonk is moving up to this first take profit zone here in the coming days and weeks. If you are interested in buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, or many more, you can do so with iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital allows you to buy, sell, and trade crypto, gold, and silver 24/7 in a tax advantage IRA. They also have low cost and no monthly fees. And right now, when you sign up, you will receive an extra $100 when you click the link down in the description below. I use iTrust Capital, and what I like about iTrust Capital is they allow you to roll over a portion or all of your 401k or IRA with iTrust Capital, and they actually have people you can call and talk to. All right, guys, it is Tuesday, getting back into the swing of things here. Been a lot going on here the past few weeks with the storm and just getting everything straightened back up. But nevertheless, pretty much got everything back in order, so I plan to make these videos more regularly. Uh, but drop a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to take a look at, including stocks, commodities, and crypto. And be sure to like and share this video with someone you think this may help. I have been investing and trading for over 20 years, and decided to start creating videos like these to help other people build a life of financial freedom. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to subscribe and go follow me over at Mind of Financier on X, or I am Mind of the Financier on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So you can follow me there as well. But over here on X, I post anything that I see that has to do with the markets, including stocks, commodities, and crypto. I hope you all are doing well. Until next time, guys, take care, be legendary, and peace out.